All right, trying something new with the sound. Bag 6, let's see how this works for us, right?
Raygun's Legos, bricks and toys.
All right, toy fans. So, bag 6 of our Xbert sunflower house. This has been a pretty interesting one. So, I think this is the last big bag. I think after that, the bags themselves are a little bit smaller. They're not quite so robust, but there is. What is that? Oh, it's coming from there. I was like, what in the world? I'm casting shadows everywhere, which is not what I want to do. But I'm trying something different because I've noticed that there's been problems with the sound. I'm trying to get it to where the sound is not quite so bad. So we're going off the camera. I'm seeing how that works for us. I think it was the echoing that was causing me so many issues. Of course, now I feel like this is going to pick up everything, including me moving the camera. But with that being said, bag 6 of our sunflower home, which we are currently right here at this portion. Go ahead and pull all of our parts here. Let's see. Big plates are going over there. We got a grass that's going to be going over there as well. Let's see if we can pull up just a little bit higher. There we go. Another plate over there. So we'll be making a roof. We got a little power line sort of looking thing here. Ooh, another sage. Another dry brush thing. I got lots of those. And then we'll put these. We'll put in the big slot. These we'll put in the little slot. Lots of itty bitties. And let's see, another one over here. Another small. We got some yellow leaves here. So we are putting together our other sunflower, which is kind of the key thing. And then another one of these. Nice. So we are at this point. We're kind of like we're building this portion up here. We finished with this right here. So this is where we stopped, and now we're picking up over here. So let's go ahead. We'll move our sticker sheet over. We might be using a sticker. I don't know. We're gonna go ahead and pull our piece off over here, and we had to remind ourselves we have a wire on this one. So I'm kind of wondering how they're going to be going about the wire and putting this wire piece in there, but we'll figure it out. Hey, listen, if you are liking what I am building and doing, especially this set, I have a link for it down the show notes. You can pick that up off of Amazon through my link. I have an affiliate link. I get a small portion of commission off of that. Really not a lot to shout out to home, but this set being as inexpensive as it is, this might be worth it to pick up. Might be worth it. All right. And if you do, get it from the shop. Those things help me out. They really do. I know it seems constantly feel like I'm saying that. Oh, it helps me out. But, you know, it's not a lot of help, but it does help every little bit. It'll definitely keep me out of trouble where I can say, yeah, no, I've totally earned some money from all that stuff I bought and reviewed over all this time. Hint, hint, wink, wink. If you're wanting to get it from the shop, please. All right, so we're on 344. It's like enough of that, Tay. You have already scared away all of your audience. They have nothing to do with you now. Hopefully that's not the case. Hopefully you guys are watching this and you still care. I would hope. Alright, so we're putting an L plate down right over here. got ourselves a 1x4 here, and then a 1x1 plate going right up here. And we're going to be building up. Now this, I believe, has a whole series of blue, black, blue, black, blue, black lines that are going to be moving up into the build. So I think that's what we're working on, is this exterior wall on this end. So 344, we're over here on 345. Got another 1x3, another 1x2, and another L plate. This time we're putting it right over cha. There we go. And we're just going to move on. Kind of interesting that we've got all of these like plates upon plates upon plates upon plates that are going up. It does look like we're breaking it up just a little bit to introduce some different parts. Probably for the best, because there will be a point when I am tired of doing the same plate, 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 plate scenario. So they're having us break it up a little bit. Smart. Very smart. Okay, so now we've got these. We're going to go with 5 more of these 1x4 snot bricks. Should be the last bit of those. And we're going to be going around this way and then this way as well. So we are not putting anything in the corners. The corners are left empty for these. I have a feeling we're going to be putting the half Travis bricks in those areas, which works out. And one right here, boom and boom, and that is done. This wire, real quick, I'm going to take this because I really don't want to mess this up and not have a working light. So I'm going to pull this wire up, and I'm just going to kind of set it in here, but I'm going to set it in a spot where it's like, I know it's not gonna bother me. Kind of do it like that if I can. That'll work. Okay. So, and I'll kind of show you. I just kind of rolled it up in there like that. Now, we have gotten these 5 done here. So now we're moving into those half Travises. So I kind of called it 1, 2, and 3 of those half Travis bricks. And they're going on each one of these corners. So 1, 2, and 3 of these half Travis bricks, and then we need 2 of these 1x2 plates. 1, and I should have one more in here. I got a lot of yellow here. 2, there they are. So 1 and 2. And they're stacking one on top of the other right over here. So we're putting them right there. And then we're moving on. Okay. So it looks like from this, looks like we're starting to tile off the top. So we will probably have it to where it's kind of interesting. I don't see any clutched areas on this. So that roof hopefully will be held down with these pieces kind of holding them in. My guess is that's what we're doing. So kind of bring it down a little bit, just like that. So we should be tiling this, and then these areas here, we're going to be putting a piece up. That's what's going to hold our floor down. So instead of it being, it won't be loose, but it's not going to be studded down. So that's something to kind of keep in mind. Usually when that occurs and we got something that is not studded down, it becomes a bit of a concern for me, because I'm like, well, what happens if we tilt this a certain way or this way? And it's the same process that if we were doing it with anything else, it's going to fall off. So we have to be like realistic about that in that way. That's like, listen, I get it. we shouldn't be trying to do the Mamba dance with our builds as it is anyways. But because there's no studs at all, it does raise a concern for me. So depending on how I feel, I might come back and be like, hey, you know what? I gotta put like at least a stud somewhere in here, like possibly change that or do one of these. Just for safekeeping, I prefer that sort of, you know, hey, this is going to be okay because we have clutch on it. All right, so we got an L plate, a 1x4, a 1x6, and I should have another 1x8 in here. I've got it right there. How do we tell? Well, let's count it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Again, 7. One more, that's 8. You could also put it right there. 1x8. So with this, we got the 1x6 that's going out this direction. Okay. Our 1x8 should be going out right over here. And we're going to be building this wall up. Then our L tile along with our 1x4. Snap all that into place. Boom. There we go. And we got that part settled. Now we're going up and we're building more of these plates here. So we need 4 of these 1x3s in blue. That's kind of a lot. I feel like they're just kind of throwing it all at us at once. To say like, here, just do this. It's all in repetition at this point. Just keep building. So, but let me pull all the parts. So we got 4. We have 1, 2, 3. We should have 4 of these 1x3s. Okay. We should have 1, 2, 3, and 4 of these. And then we need 8 of the 1x2s. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Okay, and now we're looking at what our program will be here. So we got, looks like, is that 7 across? Yes. So then we'll put 1 plate here, and then 1 and 2 on each side. Okay, so we're going to be making 4 of these. So let's go ahead and line them up. We'll go ahead and make them all. And I don't think they need to be staggered. They're already staggered enough in the way that they're built. So I'm going to try to keep the whole thing kind of in the same position. So, boom. Set that one up there. That'll be a nice looking design by the time we're done. Okay, so we're going to put that here. 1 and 2. 2. 1 and 2. And then we'll set that up there. So that's kind of like that design we were talking about. Looks nice. Very cute. 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 All right, so now we need 4 of these 2x2 round plates. 1, 2, 3, and 4, obvi. And then 1, 2. Now these 2 are they're in the lime green, but they're the 1x1 round plates with the 4 leaf pieces on it. So we're going to stack these plates here, and then these are going to be a center snap. So we're going to go in between the studs and pop. Oh man, it does not want to go, does it? Sometimes they do, and sometimes they don't. Oh my goodness. Where's my brick hammer at this point? There we go. Ouch. Hurt my fingers. It's definitely one of those where it's like, yikes, that is not at all what I had in mind. Okay. Now, it looks like we've got on this bottom row, so let's take a look at it over here. So on this bottom row, we've got one that's going right here. So we'll kind of set that into place here. Boom. And then the other one looks like it'll go right here on this end. Same height. So we're kind of pressing them in. Kind of like that. And then we've got one more set where we've got two different colors of our plates. But then we've got another one of those green studs. So we've got dark going on top of the light. And then that kind of stepping right in. Kind of, if I can get it. I've been struggling with that. There we go. And then this one will go down. So it's going to go down this way. So boom, boom, that should line up there. Okay. Now, we have one more set, but this time the big difference is that we've got one in brown, one in the regular green. So just a little bit different yet again. And then we've got another one of our little green flower pieces. That should snap onto there. If we can get it to snap onto there. Ah. There we go. Kind of turn that. I can. Right there. And then this will go on the same kind of build line as this. So it should rock like this, almost like a little heartbeat. Okay. Now we're going to be building this area here where we're using our rail plates. So we have 1x2 rail plates, you know, because they've got a little rail on it. We need 4 of them. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And it's kind of a nice, like, really bright, almost custard yellow. It's cutesy. But we need 4, 2, 3, one more on the end, 4. There you go. And now we are building a whole portion here where we are dealing with this. It's very bright, and I'm sitting there, I'm like, all this is very bright. It's hard to see. But we need a 2x10. So 2x10 right there. We need a, what is that? A 1x1. So that's going to go and fit right on the end. We need a 1x10. Nope. Yes, so 1x10, it's going out this way. And then we need a 1x2. And it's just a regular 1x2. It's not a 1x2 that has a rail on it. I should have more in here. I might have to shoo some things around here to take a look. There we go. It's right there. Okay. And then that's going to be going on that end here. Now we get into the meats and bones of this. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and then one more. So these are the 1x3 one-stepped slopes. And we're going to be pressing them in 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5. And then the 1x3 is going right here on the end. Make sure it's nice and fitted, just like that. Now, the top of that building, I think it's going to be fitting right into there. This should snap down to this. However, oh, I see. We do have one of these here on the end. Boom. And then it looks like a 1x. Let's find it. Yeah. A 1x1 plate in white, and that's going to go right down here. So as we put these on, we're kind of lining them up there. And it is pressing into here. Knocking that over. The clutch is tight on this, which is kind of weird, but I also want to make sure it holds. We didn't get anything there. That's kind of an empty spot. That feels a little weird, but it's okay. It's okay. I don't think we're, interestingly enough, I don't even think we're covering it up. But that's kind of like where our hold on, I'm trying to turn this. Try and turn that down a little bit. There we go. That's where, like, I think the house or the roof is just dropping in here. And that's going to hold it in. I still like the idea of having some clutch there, but that's just me. You know, what do I know, right? Okay. Here we go. So we need 7 rails and then 1. There's like a little, it's like a black bar. It's a little number 3 bar or number 2 bar. Yeah, with a sleeve on it. That is going to be going over here on the side. Right in there. And then we've got 7 of these rails. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There you go. And 7. For those who have to say it, it's there. There you go. You're welcome. So 1, 2, yeah, put them right back in. 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 right here. There you go. Nice. So it's creating like a little bit of an edge, like a lip there, which is, it's quaint. It's nice. Not too bad. All right, now we get the big 2x12. Okay, so we need one of those. A 1x12. Okay, we got that. A 2x4, and then a 1x4, and then 7 of these 2x3 one-step slopes. Let's see, that's 6 and 7's right there. Let's put this guy together. So with that, we're taking our plate, putting this on the end. This is going down here. And we're just staggering it to make these like long, basically long rails. Because instead of it being 12, it's 12 plus, should be 16. Yeah, it's like 2x16 at this point. So instead of making them 2x16s, we're building our plates, which makes sense because I don't know how often we get 2x16s. They might be kind of rare. I mean, I've seen them made, obviously. Like when I worked, I had a Wise block set. I had lots of pieces that were like 16, 14s, 1x's as well, like 1x14, that sort of thing. It was kind of weird. Weird, but you know, that's how that works. Okay, we're going to press this in right up here. Make sure the clutch works really well. It's holding in almost like a bowl of soup. And we're now moving to it's 363. We're at 364, and we are now working with our tiles. So 1x4, a 1x4, a 1x8, and then 6 of these 1x2 rails. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And we're working, it looks like, on this side right over here. Okay, so we're kind of like up here. We've got rails that are going to be going across here. So let's go ahead and knock those out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 right up there. And then we've got these rails going here along the bottom. So these should line up. Actually, let's start with this one, because this looks like that's going to go right here. So we're going one off, and then this one should line up way down here. I'm guessing we're putting something here in order to accommodate for that piece that's hanging off. I would hope. But, you know, I'm trying not to hope too hard here. We've got a 3x3, a 2x4, and then a 2x3. And we're going to be making another one of those AC units. Now, if you've been following a lot of how this is built, this AC unit's built, it's the same as pretty much any other floor. It's actually a pretty decent way of building it. I wouldn't mind using this technique, though I like to do something different with the fan. But all in all, man, this is pretty on par. It looks the part. And sometimes that is the key thing with working with like Legos and building blocks and all this. Like making it look the part. Hey, if it works and it looks the part and, you know, people buy it for being that, then yeah, it makes total sense. I try to remember my AC unit that I built was a little more kind of industrial, like roof AC. This feels more like a window AC sort of unit, which is nice. So we do get a fan sticker on there. Got some grills there. Be nice. This is like one of those where it's like we could have gotten like a little like name brand or something. Maybe change it up in time. All right. This is supposed to fit. Now, it's supposed to fit right up against that brown bar. So we're going to take that, press that in. Now we've got that AC unit there. And now we're going from here to here. And we're building our pipes. So we've got headlight brick. 1, 2, 3. And 4, and then a snot brick. And we need a double snot, which is that one. Double snot because it's got a snot stud, not on top on each sides. And so let's see. This is our headlight, and we're going with these 1x1 rounded barrel bricks. We're going to be taking them all the way up. And then this looks like it's going to go that way. Okay. And then I'm going to go ahead and grab we should have 2 bars. I'm going to go ahead and grab them because I think that's going to be easiest. And we're going to put this one in here. And now let's fit this to this. Okay. So we're going to fit that to there. This thing should fit and snap right into place. Right there. So that's part of our little pipe, I guess industrial pipe that's going around the outside of this building. We're going to fit that underneath there. Okay. That looks pretty good. That looks nice. Very nice. Okay. And now we're building that other side. Okay, so we need a 2x12. Got it? And then another 2x12 or 1x12. So a 2x12, 1x12, and then 6 of these 2x3 one-step slopes. We know we don't need any more than that just because 6 times 2 is 12, so that's 12 studs worth. So there we go. Whoops. Almost dropped that. It must be getting late for me. But I had some dysregulation. I was like, man, I'm going to get out there and I'm going to do some more build. Have I done anything else? No. But I figured if anything, it's like I enjoy building, man. I enjoy coming in here, getting a build. And this particular set has been pretty cool. Pretty cool. Of course, I have nowhere to put it at this point. At this point, it's like I got to start making room for city pieces and parts and things like that. Man, look at that. That is pretty solid. I like this. Okay. We've got this done. Now we're moving down here. So we need a 1x8. 2 of these 1x8 plates. Looks like 2 of these 1x1s and then one 1x1 tile. Okay. This is going to be kind of interesting. So it looks like we're staggering. Boom, boom. I see what we're doing. We're essentially adding a lip, but we're adding enough where it goes out. One more stud. So instead of 12, instead of 8, we should be at 9 studs out. And this is going to be going right down here. So that will line up with that edge and stick out, which is pretty cool. Now we need a 1x8 and then 2 of these 1x3s. They have us going 1 and 2. This one is going how many down? 1, 2, 3, right there. Okay, so it looks like it's going right there. And then we need 1, 2, 3, 4 of our 1x2s. We have 1. There it is, of a 1x4. And then 1 of these 1x1s. Let's take a look. So we got 1x1 going right down here. 1x4. Press that up like this. One, 2, 3, 4. And so we've got this built out like that. I like that. It stands out. I like this standing out. I kind of wish that we had a little bit more of this on this side, but I mean, we got on one side. I'll definitely take that. I like the look of that quite a bit. Now we need 4 of our rails. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then we should have 1 gray 1x2 here on the end. So our gray 1x2 is going to be fitting right to there. And then we're going across here with our 1x2 rail plates in yellow. 2, 3, and 4. So 4 of them. And then looks like that's going to be snapping down. Okay. So we do have a 2x10 and a 1x10. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then a 1x. So we got 2x3s. They're the was it 2x3 1-stepped slopes, and then we've got a 1x3. So boom, and then we're going to be bringing these down. So we're not going to go all the way to the end with filling this whole space out. We've got 1 stud left over on the corner. Probably the same way that we're dealing with these corners is how we'll deal with this one. And I'm not quite sure what we're doing with that just yet. But we will We will see it when we get to it, my man. So we're going to go ahead and snap that into place here. There we go. Looks good. Now, we're working on the sunflower portion. And interestingly enough, a lot of how they do their sunflowers are actually pretty cool. So we're going to go ahead, we're going to make two. So we're going to push this little bar up through this kind of netting wheel sort of area here, octagon, barred octagon. And then we're going to go 1, 2, 3, and 4. So we're building two at the same time. And probably because they're going to be the exact same, and we're just going to be forcing them into the build. So 1, we can do 2 more. 2. Boom, just like that. Okay. And now we need 16. So we're going to be doing leaves on these 1x1 plates with clips. So we need to fill up. There's going to be 8 on each one. So I'm just going to kind of do this. Pick one of each and just mosey it all the way around. We got time, I think. Yeah, I think this is, you know, I said that the other bags don't feel quite as massive. I think some of the key aspects is the next bags are going to be detail stuff. So the detail stuff that we'll have, that'll be like little bits here and there. That'll be kind of the nothing burgers. Well, not, I wouldn't say nothing burgers. It's not going to be an extensional build in that we've got like a lot of plates and we're adding floors. It's more like at this point we'll just be adding like the small detail pieces, the, you know, leaves, plants, you know, posters, all the little things that'll make the build actually feel more realistic, livable, that sort of thing. So that's kind of probably what we're moving to. So we got 1 down, we need 1 more. And we're surprisingly shopping through these parts kind of quickly. Actually quite surprised that it's gone so fast. But it's a lot of this seems to be repetitive. And technically we're not building a new floor. It's more the idea that at this point we were kind of like, we had the thing already built. So at this point we're just kind of finishing up the design of the last bit of floor, and we're adding the details and then starting the next part of the next floor's build. So that keeps bag 5 from being so big and overwhelming, but also kind of starts some of the next portion of our build. It makes sense. Yeah, we'll build, surprisingly, we'll actually probably beat through this portion pretty quickly. Actually quite surprised that this has gone by so fast. Now, interestingly enough, we don't have too many extra pieces here. Kind of surprised on that, but we got these two. Now we've got our 2 4x4 round plates. They're going to work as the center of our sunflowers. One of the artists that I really enjoy, I love Van Gogh. Van Gogh was started as an impressionist, later became an expressionist. But one of his paintings, or I should say, not one, he had a series of them. He had a series of paintings called Sunflowers. I absolutely love them because sunflowers, to him, were a endearment of love and friendship. And so in his later years in France, he had painted sunflowers and gave them to the people who essentially, loved him, took care of him, sort of thing. So they became gifts to show that friendship. I absolutely love that. Absolutely love that. That is probably one of my favorite things to see and hear. He suffered mentally a lot, mainly due to syphilis, but no, what? Oh, there it is. But I kind of wonder. There we go. I kind of wonder if he suffered from other things, like, creative people often are neurodivergent. Kind of wondered what was going on. He pretty genius, pretty wild in thought. Like I said, I really 1, 2, 3, 4. I really enjoyed his work quite a bit. Okay, now we are pulling our other wire through. So let's find our other wire. We'll push that one through. Now I'll go ahead and say it. This is no Lumabricks when it comes to our wiring system. Kind of doing things in kind of an old school sort of way. I'm not sure how this is going to work per se, but we'll figure it out. These are going to go all the way up over to here. Okay. Aha. Yeah, I see what we're doing now. Okay, so that's going to be a little awkward. I'm not too keen on that, but we might have to deal with a wire in there. You can kind of see it. I do not like that. But I don't have too much of a say about it. So let's kind of go up and over here. Let's look at how we're going to bridge this together. So that's going to fit up over here. These wires are supposed to go through this one particular hole. So let's go ahead and push one through if we can. I know my arm is like right in the way, guys. I'm so sorry. So one, kind of do it like this. It probably would help if I actually use my right hand, which is my predominant hand. 2. So as we push this down, that is supposed to lock into place. We do have a little bit of friction with our sunflowers here. That's a little tight. But we've got all of this actually fitted down. The only thing is when I want to get it into this apartment, now I'm dealing with wires. So I can't take it and set it off somewhere. That's a little upsetting. Will I get over it? Totally. Is it upsetting? Yes. But I'll be fine. I promise I'll be fine. Okay, so we're going to push these back up like this. This is still our sunflower shop. And these wires will probably go down. We'll have to like hide it kind of behind the stairs like this. Because I don't necessarily want them out. And what I did is originally they had us doing it to where we had a whole, it was like a whole, they were just coming out and like fitting into a router. Router should have been like set there. So I added some parts. So this right here is added. I took a 2x3 tile, stuck this on there, stuck that inside of this box, put it on a little thing, and that's going to help support this. And it should cover up everything so that feels a little more like an actual junction box, I guess you could say. But I will, let me find my pliers. I could probably pull those all through if I could find my pliers, my little pincers. I had a pair of pincers. There they are. Okay. So with that being said, we'll go ahead and pull this down over here, and let's grab our wires. So one. Let's grab that one too. 2, just like that. And we're going to be running them down into our junction box. Oh, there we go. And then same with this one. We're going to run it down into there as well. Now, it's a little bit tighter of a fit, and some people will be like, well, why would you make it that much more complicated? But in the end, it'll look so much better than if it was just kind of like hanging out wire-wise on the side of a building. Like, I think this will read so much better as a complete build, knowing that all of this is taken care of. So just to keep in mind, like if you're watching, you're like, oh, they have that little junction box. How cute. This does not come with the junction box. I've added that junction box. I might have to do this one off camera because it is so teeny tiny. I might have to get out like I've got like a whole thing that has here, I'll kind of show you. It's this guy right here, right? And so I'll probably have to put that on there, turn on the light so I can see what in the world I'm doing. But I'll do that off camera. So that way we can kind of finish up whatever it is build-wise we're doing here. Surprisingly, wow, okay. So I'm actually kind of shocked. And here's my reasoning why. Bag 6 came with all these pieces and parts. The roof and everything is bag 7. So we're technically, in this case, we're done for today. Everything else is bag 7. So we got bag, let's take a look. Yeah, bag 7. That's absolutely our last bag. So we'll finish that one up tomorrow, right? I think that'll work. I think that works with us. Hey, listen, if you want to get this, I've got the link for this build down in the show notes. It's from Amazon. Decent price. Pretty good build. I would definitely say pick it up. You want a good challenge? You want something that's fun? This is the way to go. I happen to like this one quite a bit. Probably more. I think I enjoyed that first floor, and first 2 bags are really good too. I enjoyed it. I definitely say I think it's worth the price that you're going to pay for it. So that being said, get it down in the show notes. Also, if you haven't subscribed, you should subscribe, hit that bell for notifications, so you can be alerted if anything comes from me to you, Avi. Like this video, helps YouTube know what you like what I'm making. Listen, comment, chit chat, that sort of thing. I try to hit up every single commenter I can, and I like talking with people. So whether we agree or disagree or whatever, hey, I'm gonna talk to you, and I'm gonna be civil and cordial about it. So don't get mean, but keep in mind that I've got strong opinions too. Hey, listen, outside of that, hey, I love you all. Jesus loves you more. There's nothing you can do about it. Good luck with the build, and happy brick hunting. Till next time.